Martin McDonagh is known for his dark, twisted and often violent films that delve into the depths of the human psyche. One recurring theme that has stood out in his works is his obsession with bodily mutilation. There is a language of horror that underpins many of his narratives as he challenges us to look at both protagonist and antagonist and sometimes see our own humanity and flaws. In many of McDonagh's films, characters are subjected to horrific acts of violence that involve the disfigurement or loss of a body part. For instance, in his debut feature film In Bruges, Ray, played by Colin Farrell, shoots a young man in the eye with a blank bullet, resulting in a gruesome injury. In The Banshees of Inisherin, Colin threatens to amputate his own fingers if Pádraic will not desist from pestering him, displaying a real spite but also a real consequence of actions. This, I think, is where McDonagh drives his point home. What proof do we have of our past, if not our scars? McDonagh's use of bodily mutilation is not just gratuitous violence for the sake of shock value. Rather, it serves a greater purpose in the storytelling. It underscores the brutal and visceral consequences of violence and highlights the physical toll it takes on individuals. It also serves to challenge societal norms around beauty and perfection and forces viewers to confront their own prejudices and biases towards those who may appear different. He uses characters with dwarfism who seem to play initially for laughs, but ultimately have a deeper story to tell, through which we see their challenges come to the fore, challenging us in turn as an audience to look deeper. Virtually every McDonagh movie features a scene where a character loses a body part. Even in Bruges, a deleted scene depicts a graphic decapitation. The Banshees of Inisherin shows fingers being lopped off, and even one of his plays refers to a beheading in its title. While some may find McDonagh's preoccupation with mutilation disturbing or unsettling, it is an integral part of his cinematic style and his exploration of the darker aspects of humanity. As such, it has cemented his reputation as a filmmaker who was unafraid to push boundaries and explore the depths of the human condition. The film In Bruges centres around two hitmen, Ray, played by Colin Farrell, and Ken, played by Brendan Gleeson, who are sent to Bruges, Belgium to lay low after a botched job. Ray is haunted by the accidental shooting of a young boy, which resulted in him being ordered to Bruges. This event is a pivotal moment in the film and sets the stage for its exploration of redemption, guilt and the consequences of violence. The Last Judgment is a triptych of disputed authorship, possibly by Hieronymus Bosch. The Hell Painting triptych currently resides at the Gronings Museum in Bruges. Both Ken and Ray struggle with guilt as they observe this picture, but Ken is more mature and experienced and therefore better equipped to deal with and to articulate it. Both Ken and Harry are ultimately prepared to die for their convictions and principles. Ray has a life ahead of him and somehow cannot reconcile himself to this type of conviction, much as he would like to. This hits hard emotionally, as at the end of the film we are left with some ambiguity as to whether he will ever get to atone. In his play A Beheading in Spokane, McDonagh once again explores the theme of bodily mutilation through the character of Carmichael, played by Christopher Walken, a man who has been searching for his missing hand for over 20 years. As the play unfolds, it becomes clear that Carmichael is a deeply disturbed individual whose obsession with finding his hand has led him down a dark and dangerous path. Through Carmichael, McDonagh is able to explore themes of trauma, loss and the destructive nature of obsession. Carmichael's search for his hand is ultimately revealed to be a futile and self-destructive pursuit that has consumed his life and left him emotionally and psychologically scarred. The use of bodily mutilation in the play serves to underscore the physical and emotional toll of trauma and loss, and how it can manifest in destructive and unpredictable ways. Ultimately, A Beheading in Spokane is a powerful exploration of the human psyche and the ways in which we cope with trauma and loss. In Bruges, the central tragedy of the film revolves around Ray, who was haunted by guilt after accidentally killing a young boy. His overwhelming remorse is palpable and it drives much of the narrative. McDonagh portrays Ray's inner torment and his desire for redemption with both humour and empathy. Ray's struggle becomes a lens through which the audience can explore the weight of past actions and the pursuit of forgiveness. Ray grapples with the meaninglessness of life and questions the value of his own existence. His existential crisis is a tragic element, and the film uses dark humour to highlight the absurdity of his predicament while acknowledging the seriousness of his emotional turmoil. McDonagh artfully juxtaposes tragedy with absurdity, creating moments of dark humour. For example, the characters often find themselves in bizarre situations in the picturesque Belgian town of Bruges, such as visiting tourist attractions while dealing with life and death dilemmas. This contrast between the mundane and the profound adds depth to the film's portrayal of tragedy. The film delves into the consequences of violence, both physical and emotional. Ken, played by Brendan Gleeson, Ray's mentor, is also deeply affected by tragedy. The film explores Ken's moral dilemma and his internal conflict between loyalty and his own sense of justice. Ken demonstrates that even those involved in violent professions are not immune to the tragic repercussions of their actions. The film's cathartic resolution leads to moments of self-realization and transformation, offering a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. McDonagh allows the characters to confront their demons and make choices that provide a measure of closure, albeit in his signature darkly comedic style. We see something of the same in the Banshees of Inisherin, but as there is a resolution, there is also the feeling that some things cannot and will not change. McDonagh's script skillfully balances dark comedy and tragedy. The film's humour doesn't trivialise the character's pain. Instead, it serves as a coping mechanism for their emotional turmoil. Humour serves as a device to explore the complexities of guilt, redemption, and the human condition. McDonagh frequently employs absurd and incongruous elements to create humour. He places characters in situations where the contrast between the ordinary and the extraordinary is stark. For example, in Bruges, the picturesque Belgian town becomes the backdrop for hitmen grappling with existential questions, resulting in absurd and humorous interactions. Irony plays a pivotal role in McDonagh's humour. He often highlights the absurdity of life's dark moments, juxtaposing tragedy with comedy. In 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, the film's serious subject matter of a mother seeking justice for her daughter's murder is punctuated with darkly comedic and ironic moments, challenging traditional genre conventions. McDonagh's dialogue is renowned for its sharpness and cleverness. His characters engage in witty banter, quick retorts, and clever one-liners that keep the audience engaged and entertained. The dialogue often serves as a vehicle for exploring complex themes, as seen in Bruges, where characters use humour to cope with guilt and existential crises. His humour often arises from the exploration of moral and ethical dilemmas. He places characters in morally ambiguous situations, forcing them to grapple with their own choices and the consequences of their actions. This adds depth to the humour as it emerges from the characters' complex inner conflicts. McDonagh also frequently places his characters in life-threatening circumstances. Their reactions to these situations, whether through humour or absurdity, serve as a source of comedy. For example, in 7 Psychopaths, the characters' bizarre and violent actions create moments of dark humour. McDonagh is skilled at subverting audience expectations. He takes conventional storytelling tropes and twists them in unexpected ways. The element of surprise adds a layer of humour to his narratives, as viewers are often caught off guard by the direction the story takes. McDonagh's films often dive into complex themes like redemption, suicide, and the absence of hope, using dark humour and unflinching storytelling to explore the human condition. His characters frequently grapple with the possibility of redemption, seeking a chance to make amends for their past mistakes. This quest for redemption is often intertwined with feelings of guilt and remorse. In Bruges, Ray seeks redemption for accidentally killing a young boy. His internal struggle and eventual willingness to face the consequences drive the film's narrative. McDonagh's portrayal of redemption is nuanced, often showcasing the difficulties and moral dilemmas that come with seeking forgiveness and making amends. He doesn't offer easy solutions, but rather explores the complexities of redemption in a flawed world. Suicide is also a recurring theme in McDonagh's films, reflecting characters' despair and inner turmoil. McDonagh explores the reasons behind suicidal thoughts and the impact of these feelings on his characters. In Bruges, both Ray and Ken grapple with thoughts of suicide. Ray, burdened by guilt, contemplates ending his own life, while Ken struggles with the moral dilemma of what to do about Ray's situation. McDonagh's treatment of suicide is both serious and darkly humorous, often shedding light on the complexity of mental health issues and the human condition. McDonagh's films frequently depict characters who find themselves in seemingly hopeless situations, challenging their sense of purpose and optimism. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri portrays a small town where hopelessness festers due to the unsolved murder of a young girl. McDonagh examines how the absence of hope affects the characters and their actions. His exploration of hopelessness underscores the bleak aspects of life and challenges his characters to find meaning and purpose in the face of adversity. These themes intersect and intertwine, creating narratives that are simultaneously darkly comedic and emotionally profound. McDonagh doesn't provide easy answers, but invites viewers to engage with the complexities of redemption, suicide, and the lack of hope in the human experience. His films serve as thought-provoking explorations of these themes, offering a unique blend of humour and introspection. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.